Today we've got a little bit of a special one for you. We're going to be checking out an incredible lens. That is, of course, the 50-1 and 50. I'm going to do a couple of things with it. I'm going to go out and around Cardiff and do some general street photography, but then we're also going to be doing a model shoot later.
You got me shaking, yeah, I feel the fever coming on. Boy, you know you're all I want. Keep saying that I hate it, but it's kind of fun. Watching me come undone. No more games. Can't we just say its name? Instead of running away and jumping the gun to play it safe.
I've actually got it in my bag at the moment. I'm going to be shooting with the Pocket 3 for general POV kind of things. And then I'm going to be trying out this absolutely awesome lens. What I'm actually really impressed by is actually the size of it in particular. It feels really nice and light in the hands. What's been quite funny about the videos that I've been doing recently is a lot of people have been saying that my hands make things look a lot smaller than they actually are. But I gotta say, this lens is a really good size. It's fast, it's efficient. Yes, it's expensive, but I think there's still an argument for it, or at least an argument to get it. Anyway, let's go out, take some photos, and grab some hopefully good imagery. The lens overall is quite simple. There is no image stabilization here, relying pretty much on the IBIS built into those cameras. You've got a click switch as well as a manual focus and a DMF focus switch on the side. You got yourself, of course, a hot shoe. This is a 95mm thread, and overall it's a pretty decent design. I gotta admit, I do really like the metal plate on the front of the camera, and the declicked aperture ring does feel super damn smooth. So the lens just has a 90-degree throw, which is really fast and efficient for people doing event photography in particular. This lens combined with the 28-70, I feel is going to be absolutely perfect for wedding photographers as well as events photographers and videographers. It makes moving between the different focal lengths really fast, and like I said, efficient, which is what you want to be in those situations. Earlier I tested it out and I found the performance of the lens just to be completely mind-blowing. The lens itself has got to be one of the fastest kind of like quick-firing focus lenses I think I've ever seen, making it brilliant for sports, as well as everything else. It is rapid, just changing in between different subjects and grabbing the photos you want. And the focus is sticky there as well. I had this cyclist coming straight at me, which I'm going to show now. And what I'm going to show now, and it grabbed him every single frame without even losing the focus. We live in a time at the moment where the sort of like quality ceiling is getting there, because everything that comes out is such good quality, and it's rare to see something improve in an area like professional lenses, because we've had these lenses before. We've had the 24-70s, we have the 70-200s, and they've become staples, right? This lens does things a little bit different, gives you a nice low aperture, and ultimately the opportunity to be able to capture some really great quality photos. It's quite funny doing street photography because you always feel bad about going after a particular shot, thinking you might be interrupting somebody else's kind of flow, and well, you can really grab some just great stuff with just being a little bit braver and realising that most people just want to get on with their day. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Of course, I'm shooting this in the X5 at the moment, just because he's moving around talking about product shots who did actually really enjoy doing. really enjoyed a 70-200. They are absolutely amazing lenses. You can't really fault them. But whenever I use the 70-200, I always silently wishing it would be a little bit wider. And I think it's a brave decision. I mean, creating a lens that nobody else has created before is always something just a little bit more challenging. But what they've done here is create a lens that is pretty much near perfect. And it's really interesting to see. Today on maybe a valid comparison. Doo-doo-doo. Here we have 3 shots, all shot at 150mm. The 2 outside ones were shot at f2.8. The center one was shot at f3.2. The outside ones are the Tamron and the Sigma. As we can see when we zoom in and just check on some of the detail, the 50-150 does outshine it absolutely completely. The only thing to bear in mind is that there is a vast price difference between the two, and the 50-150 from Sony GM is of course an f2. The other ones have a very low aperture of f1.8 to 2.8. That's something to become, think about. Hope it helped. So just doing some general photography.
Can you take pictures of him on your lens?
Sorry.
Yes, you're professional. I'm professional. Him.
Okay, they did seem lovely, but I'm not going to let anyone touch this lens other than me, because it's kind of scary walking around with it as I am. Mainly because of the price. It costs pretty much my left kidney, and I think this photo kind of explains my thoughts on it best. But the interesting thing here is, especially if you're a wedding photographer and events photographer, this really takes up 2 or 3 lenses in your backpack, which, when you think about it, actually could add up to the cost of this actual lens. For example, a 70-200, a 50, a 135, all end up being quite expensive. But this pretty much wipes those out of your bag and gives you a lens that you can just use. Matching this up with a 28-70, you've pretty much got rid of most of your focal lengths in your bag, and you can just carry around 2 cameras to be able to capture an entire day. So when it comes to it, I think it's economical in that retrospect. It's still an incredibly pricey lens, but with the price you get quality, and it's up to you to decide if that quality is high enough. Stick around, we're going to be doing a portrait shoot with it. Anyway, let's get back to the streets and take some more photos. The weight of the lens is 1,340 grams overall, and it hadn't actually affected me through the day. And as you can see, for the most part, I was actually doing it single-handedly. For the most part, I did actually have the camera set onto a high drive mode, and when I was shooting moving fast subjects, it pretty much grabbed it all the way through without any sort of drop in focus, and everything was just generally super sharp. The lens adjusted itself really well to pretty much any situation that I actually put it through whilst walking around and grabbing shots. Although, yes, it's not necessarily the most incognito lens, being that grey colour, I do feel like most people didn't really pay attention as to what I was actually doing. Anyway, this will be the last photo before we meet up with Ashley, our model of the day, and we're going to do a bit of creative shooting and grab some cool shots. So, without further ado, let's go. So, the model should be with us soon, and get ready for the other part of today's shoot. I think I got some good photos there, or at least hopefully. The lens for the most part seems to be super responsive, and she is just a beaut. Something that I haven't actually gone over is the fact that you can actually remove the option mode. And the only thing I would say when it comes to Sony in this retrospect is maybe take a leaf out of Sigma's book, where they actually use an Arca Swiss on their hot shoot, because most people will be using an Arca Swiss plate for this kind of lens, and it's not that much extra in terms of just molding it just a little bit different. Let's get onto the shoot and meet up with Ashley. We are down Westgate Street right now, and Ashley has joined me. and she's right there.
Oh, hi.
You see? There you go. Ashley's joined me. Say hey, Ashley.
Hey.
And we're going to take some photos down Westgate Street. It's got some really nice buildings on this side. It's actually got a funny story with the architects, because the person who actually designed this side of the building had a rivalry with another architect because of the cricket ground.
Right.
Yeah, this is really boring.
I don't know, but I like
the cricket ground, and then his rival basically built that just to fight him.
and it's really nice.
It's also really nice. The balconies are really nice there as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to do some photos and hopefully get some cool shots. So let's get going. You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Two seconds, just let this lady go past. Yeah, that's good. Look up to the windows. Just turn your eye just a little, just turn your face a little bit towards there, a bit further. Tiny bit further. Just a little bit further. There you go. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Amazing. Turn around, catwalk style. Perfect. Amazing. And one more time for me. Perfect. Walk towards for me. Right, let's get you up center stage on there. I'm going to be using this as kind of a framing device. Perfect. Okay, time to be dangerous. I am not hopeless. What we're going to do is just frame her up inside of the arches here and look to get kind of like, just pose. Look badass. It's a very cool shot.
Yeah.
A lot of lines, and yeah, a good chance to check out the sharpness of the lens. So we're just going to try and square it up as much as possible. And this is something you'll be able to actually get with the 70-200. If you get that 50 end, you can actually get some really kind of like half decent wide angle shots. So what we're going to do is your perfect turn this way a little bit further. Yes, like it. Another same pose. I'm going to go for the 150 end now. Let's get a little bit of compression with the background and get some cool shots. Frame her a little bit in the photo. So you see this pillar, can you lean up against it for me? Back. Oh no, side's good, I like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Just go down one step. We're not seeing the entirety of your body. Perfect. And lean into it for me. Perfect. Gonna go a bit wider there. It's a shame about the scaffolding. Always fighting scaffolding, I can't help it. Yeah. And then in a very similar position to where I was last time, we actually can get a nice decent wide there as well. I've shown off the architecture, the general style of the street. Lean up against it now for me, but kind of like you were before, so I need to see a little bit of separation between the pillar and you. Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
It is nice, and there's a lot of really good light here, especially on this pillar here.
Yeah.
So we're now by Angel Hotel, just down the end of Westgate Street, and we've got a lot of really good light right here. Hopefully going to grab some cool shots. It's a lot of people though. That's fine.
We like a challenge.
We like a challenge. So always put your model in the best available light. That's a good good bit of advice. Facing us that way.
Facing that.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. You know what? It's almost to the point where F2s, I need to not shoot at F2, but it's just so nice to be able to do. Alright, so what I want you to do is, can you go to the edge of this pillar and can you like arch your back as much as possible, but more towards arching so I can see the arch on the camera. So to the corner and stab yourself with that. Yeah, perfect. That looks absolutely sick. Oh no, it was good.
You want to show me?
I almost like it. Very weird training, like it. Cool, let's move to the.
I like that.
I just like the light so much here.
That was when the bus came though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was when the bus came just before it knocked the light out. No!
Oh.
No, lad, no. It's going well at the moment.
How's the channel doing?
It's doing all right. We got just hit 3,000.
Oh, well done.
You know, which is
That's
a nice
so
little.
good. Are you on TikTok as well? TikTok would be a good
TikTok's good. Yeah, and we're also on the gram of Insta.
The gram of the Insta.
The gram of the Insta. Here we are at Cardiff Castle. Do you want to know another amazing fact about Cardiff Castle?
You built it.
Huh?
You built it.
Well, it's been built a couple of times, knocked down a couple of times.
Yeah.
But over the other side, you see the red line of bricks.
Yes.
Yeah. On the bottom of that is the old Roman castle.
How do you know that?
So that's what the Romans built, that part of the wall, and then the rest of it. Yeah.
That's it. And this is all the restored bit.
Well, like when they built it back up. They rebuilt it a couple times now, actually.
Like.
This light is nice. That is some good light. I tell you what, see the pinnacle of there? Can you go to the pinnacle of the light here?
Yes.
Amazing. So let's see if we can get like a cool wide shot. Reasonably wide. I'm gonna aim to be around about here. Gonna go a bit further back. A second. We'll shoot this at 150. So then with this shot, I'm thinking compression works a little bit better. Originally kind of thought like having it wide would be, but see what we can get. I'm gonna flip the screen around like this. Oh, if we can get some depth in there, that'd be really good. I don't know. Do you know what? I quite like that. That's cool. Oh, that's stunning. No. Cool, gonna switch over to video now. Video! Gonna do some video. Beautiful. Can you do that again? Just the what's called the twist that you did there? The Okay. Yes.
Like
oh my
fooling
God.
people.
Suitcase.
Suitcase of
So
food.
this is something that should happen, all right? Imagine a camera bag, but it looks like a guitar case.
That does look cool.
For one, you know you're going to have space for a long lens.
And a tripod.
And a tripod, quite easy. It's almost the perfect kind of like setup to do that.
It's
Why
very
has no
creative.
one done this?
Very creative.
It is very creative. Oh my days. It is boiling
It's
today.
lovely. Don't complain.
Don't complain.
We won't have this much.
Oh, are you Welsh?
Yeah.
I'm English. We are born to complain. So before I actually turned on the camera, me and Ash were talking about how dangerous situations we put ourselves in to get the shot. I'm currently in the middle of a bike path. Yeah. But anyway, we've got this really cool shot here. Gonna use the leading lines of the river to do some framing. This is mainly gonna be a 50 shot, I think, but we'll try some 150 as well and see where we go from there. Amazing. So let's just let these guys go past. So we've got this nice frame right here, working out really well. Just took these photos on the 50 end, and now we're doing the 150. So it's all internal with this lens. Really quite nice. Quite nice to be doing it one-handed, which I feel is really impressive.
It looks light.
It is light.
It looks like the way you look at
I'm not going to lie, that cyclist scared me a little bit when I was just holding it out there. There you go. Alright, so now we're just on the pavement again, and we're just going to get just general shots. I just took some photos with the sun on her face. I'm not a big fan when it comes to... You were awesome.
Thanks.
I'm just not a big fan when it comes to the light just being directly in your face. It's great for video right now, so you can see my face. But I like the sort of like highlight you get from the sunlight and the soft light you get shooting the other way. Oh, that looks good. Looks really good. Okay, cool. Amazing. I'm quite happy with the photos. Thank you, Ash, for joining us
Very
today.
happy.
I am actually. Well, it's one, I'm going to have to look at them.
Okay.
But overall, I'm actually really happy with what I got. Your hair's kind of gone with the side of the river.
The lake looks amazing in the background.
And then it's on the 150 end. Yeah, that's pretty good. That was what I was going for.
Yeah,
Looks really good. It kind of matches with the reflections in the water.
nice. Absolutely.
I'm excited to actually have a go with the editing of this. Now we come to perhaps one of my favourite parts of the video, and that's where we actually have a look over. We actually have a look over some of the photos that I took during the day, and talk about how good the photos are, the bokeh, and a little bit more detail on the actual lens, and also going into the conclusion, which is coming up. Don't worry, I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but it's quite fun, and I think it kind of shows everything I feel and think about the lens, whilst also showing you some photography things that I've been doing. So this is of course a lens that's really meant for professionals, as it's very much on the higher end of your budget. So it's around about it's around about £3,799 overall, which that's actually really expensive, and for most people is kind of out of the realm of possibility for them to get. However, this lens is really more of an accumulation of lenses themselves. If you find yourself looking at buying a 70-200, a 50mm, 85, a 135, all at low apertures, this lens pretty much covers that all. And it's kind of coming into the age of like these prime zoom lenses that give you the bonuses of a prime and also the capabilities of a zoom, and giving you a lot of range there to be able to do so much more with your cameras. And that's something that I noticed when I was shooting, is the actual versatility of this camera, of this lens, was absolutely superb, and it really kind of gave me a wanting to do more, which is something only some tech actually really gives me. And the last time I kind of felt this way was with the GFX 100 RF, because it's a bit pricey, but the quality's there to really kind of show what you can get out of it. However, it's really up to you if you feel the quality of the lens is actually helps you kind of like accept the price, because it is much more pricey than some of its counterparts, predominantly the 35 to 150s Tamron and Sigma, that also go from f1.8 to f2.8, but don't have a constant aperture like this does, which is f2. Anyway, let's jump into some of the photos. So this is our model Ashley, and I just wanted to kind of like zoom in, talk a little bit about the bokeh, which is something when I was showing Tyler these photos that came up in conversation, was the bokeh in particular looks incredibly smooth. It's not super sharp, which is really nice to see for people who are looking to use it for portraits. maybe some cinematic things as well. It's nice to have a lens that has just really sublime bokeh. If we zoom in on the eye now, as you can see, this is super damn sharp. And if we zoom out, you can really see kind of like how much detail you can get in a photo. Again, this is a little bit of kind of like a mid-wide, this next photo here. But if we zoom in, we still get an incredible amount of detail there in the shot. And overall, I must admit, the model photos, and thank you Ashley for helping us out there, came out really well. It was an incredibly efficient lens to use, whilst also, you know, ergonomically speaking and everything like that was really simple to use. The size of it was actually quite nice because it did actually fit inside of my Gomatic Peter McKinnon 13-litre bag. And if you want to see my general kind of kit setup for videos, then, you know, click the link at the end of the video and you'll be able to see that. But it was nice to be able to fit it in more of a satchel situation, despite it being maybe considered a slightly larger lens overall. But it did perform really well. So this is next photo now is a bit of more of a close-up. If we really zoom in, you can see some of that detail there coming out, you know, the veins in the eyes, the eyelashes. What was really great to have here, and opposed to what you would have had out of a 70-200, I know I still stood into the road, but you do actually have a really decent wide, which is the 50mm. This is a pretty much staple focal length for a lot of people, as it's pretty close to the human eye, giving you a more realistic compression compared to what you would have got out of a 70-200. Something that would have been nice to see though is the ability to put maybe a teleconverter on here to kind of allow you to have another lens after that. But this isn't, you know, it's still a very complex lens design, and I don't think they actually have the ability to include that in such a compact form factor as well. So looking at this photo right now, this is kind of like a flat lay, so there's more detail going on here. It's very kind of like, you know, we're not focusing on the low depth of field, we're focusing on both the model and then the entire area, which is quite nice. What was quite nice to see is that 50mm did actually have some really nice background blur when it came to be shooting at like an f2. So overall, I think the lens really performed excellently, and I'm really happy with the results that I got out of it. Some of my favourite photos being this one. It's a composition which I feel like worked out really quite well, especially since it kind of like syncs up with the lake when it comes to her hair and everything like that. It's kind of like more of a moody shot, but I feel like it worked out quite well. And yeah, overall, even with the street photography, shooting this guy here, he was really happy to have his photo taken. The lens pretty much stuck to him throughout the time that I was shooting him, and I did have it at the highest frames per second that the camera could do. And again, it performed really well. To kind of conclude, because I could just go through all of the photos and talk about how great a quality this lens is, ultimately you've seen the video on these lenses a couple times now, and you're just really looking for quality and to see if the quality is there for you. What I would say is that this lens is one of the best quality lenses on the market. It's trying to do something a little bit different, shake up the formula, and I think they've managed to achieve that. Do I think that the price is worth it for the lens? I honestly do think that, but it is a very pricey lens overall, and you've really got to consider what you have in your gear bag if you're looking to compress it a little bit, or you just want the ability to take two cameras to a job without anything. I think you could really get away with this, and then the 2870 with, you know, whatever A7 series that you want to work with, and you'll have a kick-ass setup, pretty much able to do any situation. These lenses that they've released recently are super powerful, and they're changing things up. They are going to be interesting to watch going forward, and well, we'll just have to see what they release next. If you have any kind of questions, any kind of comments, put them in down below. If you like this video, please like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to see more, have a good day. I'll see you next time. Okay, cool. Amazing. I'm quite happy with the photos. Thank you,
Quite
Ash,
happy.
for joining us
Very
today.
happy.
I am actually well, it's one, I'm going to have to look at them.
Okay.
But overall, I'm actually really happy with what I got.
Perfect.
Superbly happy.
You see me.
Amazing. Let's get to it. I'm going to end up just doing a compilation of my different hairstyles because it's just like
Well, yours or mine?
mine. It just keeps my hair's
always
just
become a hair
unruly.
model.
I could do. Amazing. Thank you for
Thank
being a
you.
part of the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, subscribe if you want to see more.